Welcome back to the Compound Podcast. This is episode 119, brought to you by Parse Rum. Just like every episode, brought to you by Parse Rum, the best rum in the world. Buy a bottle, drink a bottle, plant a tree in Colombia. We got a lot going on right now. Tom's having technical difficulties. He's probably on mute for the whole show. Okay? We really missed him. 2 weeks ago, Tom wasn't there. We had a great stand-in, but it wasn't Tom. And so we had to take a full week off. We had to take a full bye week.
What was the great stand-in's name?
Ronnie.
Ronnie. I didn't think Ian knew it either. He froze.
I'm proud of Ian for knowing the name. Also, every second that we spend talking about me is a second we're not talking about Ian in the All-Star game. That's a travesty to the audience. So let's get to that.
Listen, I have more things to touch on here. Okay. Also, this episode is brought to you by Parse Rum. Dakota's mustache is getting better and better. That thing's fantastic. Okay.
I haven't
If
shaved
it was in the winter right now, you would actually have icicles hanging off.
The only thing I haven't shaved it in like 2 months. The only thing I've done is like I got to shave it from going inside my mouth, and it's gross because like if I eat like I've eaten breakfast sandwiches and cheese gets in my mustache, and I'm like, ew, it's gross.
Dakota, are you nasty?
That's why I keep the stash. As long as if I throw well, I'll do anything to throw. I'll shave my eyebrows off.
No, don't say it.
If
Don't
it
say
gets me
you would not
zeros,
shave your eyebrows.
I'll shave it all. I don't care.
Nope.
For zeros,
No chance.
I'll do anything.
No chance, dude.
I will.
Dakota,
So do it right now.
If you can guarantee me that I go to the show if I shave my eyebrows, I'll shave every hair on my body.
Dakota, are you sitting mid-90s right now?
Sometimes. It depends. Depends how I'm feeling. But yeah, kind of close to it. I'd say more.
Ian's been watching your Ivy.
I'd say more 2 to 4 with a couple 5s and 6s.
You're kind of nasty, huh?
Well, it's better than the start of the year when I was 88, 90.
Zach, can you tell the people where you are right now?
Yeah, I am back in Toledo. I had a very eventful 48 hours or so. So I went and played in Oakland out of the break on Thursday,
which was a crazy scheduled out of the All-Star break doubleheader for the Go Tigers, which was a toughie on the Thursday at the
with
break.
Friday off.
The break was only 3 days.
Yeah,
into a doubleheader. Not cool. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
With Friday off, and then Saturday we played the Twins. I pinch ran, whatever, and then got optioned for a starting pitcher. Played Sunday in the AAA game for 4 innings. Javi gets hit by a pitch in the elbow. He gets taken out. So I get taken out because they don't know if he's hurt or not. So today we're off for AAA. So they tell me that I'm going up. They don't know if I'm active or not. So I get there and they're waiting to see how Javi feels. Javi feels all day. And he's like, all right, he's good. So you're going to go back to Toledo tomorrow. So now that's where I am.
That's the life of a 40-man guy. They might need you, but then they didn't.
Might not.
How'd you feel in Oakland?
I felt great. I had one of the better swings that I've taken all year.
I was watching.
Go grab your glove.
You
I was watching. I thought it was gone.
Yeah, I felt good. So I don't know. Keep grinding, right? Head down.
That's right. Great attitude. But Zach, shouldn't we probably get to, the main topic?
Yeah, why Ian's a little bit tanner, like he went to the West Coast for a few days.
Yeah. What were you doing out
He's
there?
got a little like LA, like I would say like an LA kind of glow,
I would agree.
Movie stars, Hollywood.
Yeah. What do you guys want to know?
First of all,
everything.
Real quick. I saw some post. It was, or maybe I was on like TikTok, and it randomly went through like some players from the All-Star game, and it said like who had the best fit, and half wasn't even in the video, and I'm like, let's figure it out.
Please tell me a comment from user 973432210.
I got no clue what my TikTok name is, but they're about to get a message.
It's tough. It's tough to get on the awards of best fits when the number on the side of the sleeve right here, it says 1.
It's singular.
Just 1.
That's even cooler. That's cooler than the people that got 5. Who cares? Already been there.
Wait, so all right, so red carpet. How did you pick your fit?
A couple of weeks before the game. We call it 3 weeks before, or beginning of July. I And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get a suit made. I was already getting some clothes made for a different event. And I was like, I'm going to get a suit made for this thing just in case it happens. And so I went and saw my guy here in Chicago at Stitch and Heart. Shout out. No free ads. Shout out. And kind of put it together and decided what I was going to wear, color, and got the suit made. So I was all locked and loaded with that. And then Julie had to make the decision based on what I was wearing. But it was
A show. That's interesting.
yeah, it was I felt good about the collar, felt good about the t-shirt under. A little bit of a
You should have went like
Texture.
Marte with just no undershirt. You know?
that is an unbelievable look.
That's true.
If I had what's he's got going on, I would definitely do that. That Marte, so his locker was 2 lockers down from me.
What a shame.
And that dude
Just had to look at that specimen of a human.
that guy's triceps are unbelievable. I asked him for a little bit of his triceps, and he was always eating. He was always had a plate of food. But really, it goes straight to the tris. His triceps are incredible.
So that's the key. Eat more
Yeah,
food.
just
get
he would
big
eat
and
like
strong.
a small plate of food every hour, pretty much.
All right. So, hey, Dakota and Tom, set this one out for a little bit. I have a few questions. All right. So you like, so before the red carpet, you guys chopping it up over drinks? Like, or was it everybody just like kind of sporadic?
No, everything happened so early. So because the game and the derby were both at like 5 o'clock because it was LA time. So red carpet was at like 10:20 a.m. So
I
basically,
can't get the bags under your eyes still, dude.
yeah,
What?
and there was a really cool party on Monday night. So didn't go to
Couple
bed
cervezas
super
there.
early. And then Tuesday morning, basically Julie got up early because she was doing like hair and makeup stuff. I did not get up early. And so I got up basically like at 9, took a shower, and then went straight down to the red carpet thing. But it was really cool. It was really cool to like that was kind of the experience that Julie and I got together because most of it, you're at the stadium doing stuff. The first day before the derby, our first bus was at 10:30 or 11 to the 10:30 to the ballpark. So, you're doing all the stuff at the field, which is really cool. But like the only real part that you get to experience with your family or with your significant other is that kind of red carpet walk.
Right.
So that was cool for us to get to kind of do that together.
What and then the home run derby, obviously, how cool was that being Schwarber's right hand, actually it would be his left hand man.
It was awesome. So day one, you go to the field at like 10 a.m. Right? Had a couple of drinks Sunday night when we got in, and then wake up super early, go to the field, and you're just signing stuff. You're just signing. MLB puts probably, I don't think 50 is an exaggeration. 50 might be light. 50 dozen baseballs in the middle of the clubhouse that are all team balls. So you're just signing over and over stuff in the middle.
You guys chopping it up when you're signing
Yeah.
or what?
Yeah, it was cool getting to chop it up, and guys like Jock, obviously, and Schwarber were dudes that I knew and had played with, and then you have guys like Cronenworth hits with Nico in the off season, and he's a Chicago guy, and
Yep.
he lives really close to me actually in Chicago in the off season. So like I got to talk to him a lot and chop it up with him, and he's awesome. And then you kind of meet guys who you've played against, or like Jock was kind of the guy that he knew everybody because he played for the Braves and San Francisco and Chicago and LA. So he kind of knew enough guys to
That's 80% of the
which
team.
is crazy. So, and then people send random packages and stuff in the locker. So you have to unpack your locker and kind of get it somewhat organized and figure out like what stuff you're going to want people to sign, what stuff is like that you don't want at all, and then what stuff you need for the day. You get into full uni. You do like an hour and a half of media and then team pictures. And that time, like you really get to like see the AL team, which you actually like don't see at all. So like you chop up the guys in the AL in like kind of in between the picture stuff. And that was cool to see some of those guys. And then I didn't hit that first day. So I just went out and shagged for BP. And got to like walk around and talk to guys and hang out. And then you kind of go in, sign more stuff, and then you get to go out there for the Derby. And just like being on the field for the Derby, like I know we grew up watching like derbies and then watching when they would pan to the guys watching with like their kids and stuff. So, like actually being able to be out there watching and like up close was really cool. I did feel like where they had us set up and sitting though, like someone was gonna snap hook a foul ball in my face.
That's wild.
I seem to remember it being closer to home plate. And I think now there's so many cameras that they're keeping guys away from home plate and more media around home plate.
Remember like the old fucking tape recorders they would hold it with like on the side like this?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. It was
And then so obviously did you know you were Schwarber's guy?
Oh, I asked him, I was like, yo, is anybody bringing you out Gatorade? Because like I want to be your towel guy. He was like, no, I need you out there. And I was like, fuck yeah. Wow. So I was pumped. And I got to go out. Obviously, he took his time out in the first round, and he wasn't putting on his normal performance that he would in a derby. And so I got to go out there, and he didn't have a lot of confidence. You know, he was like he was like, I don't know what's going on. I was like, you're good. You just hit a backside homer, stay in the middle of the field, hit the ball in the air, you rake. And then Bogarts and Devers came up because they play with him in Boston. Yeah. So they come up and he looks at us and he goes, I stink. We were all dying. That was when we were all dying laughing. I was like, no, you're good. You're good. You got this. And then he did. And then he picked it up and they tied. And then there was a little bit of a scoring dispute there again for the Schwarbs. In real time, I didn't feel that. Like it's hard because the scoreboard counting and everything. But it wasn't fair because that was Pujols' destiny. It wasn't Schwarber wasn't going to be able to win that because the baseball god said we need a really good Albert Pujols moment from this, and that is what happened. And that and being able to go,
what a tough draw.
And being able when I think it was Machado or Soto, one of the guys that like kind of stood up and got us to like all go towards Albert. That was really cool. That was like a really cool thing.
That's wild.
Yeah, that was sick.
He gave us the speech before the game. So Snit said we're moving on to the next day. But Snit kind of set him up to give us a speech. Snit is the Braves manager for all the listeners out there. Because the Braves staff was our staff. And he set Albert up before the game to give a speech. And he kind of started by saying, like, been playing for 22 years. And I threw up a little bit in my head, just a little bit. I was like, 22 years? Oh, my God. I looked up his baseball reference, which is hilarious if anybody's bored and wants to do that. He was an all-star. He's a 11-time all-star. I think that was his 11th. His first 10 years, he was an all-star his rookie year. His second year, he was not an all-star. Look up the numbers, Tom. Read off his numbers for the second year.
Yeah, I got it right here. 34 homers, 127 RBIs, 314 batting average. How about this? 72 walks compared to 69 strikeouts, a 955 OPS, a 151 OPS plus. Finished second in the MVP.
He was not an all-star that year. Okay. So he was an all-star his first year, and then not an all-star that year. And then I think he was an all-star for the next 9 years.
How old?
Year Pujols. Oh, sorry.
Ian, how many years of Showtime do you have right now? 4? 3?
This is my 6th season. By the end, I will have 5 plus of service.
So only 17 more years to go. You'll be playing until you're 44.
Oh, God. 22?
No problem.
In this era, in this day and age, 22 show years. Crazy. Snit read off some of his stats when he when he introduced him, kind of like 11 All-Star games, the ridiculous 600 and whatever home runs and this and that. And our career at 33rd all time in RBIs, I think. It's like this guy's career has been unbelievable. And he was soaking it in. It was cool to see. Like he was soaking in the moments and like sharing it with the guys. And it was really cool. And the respect that the Latin players have for him, everybody respects him so much. But
Zach, did you say Miggy or Pujols?
Yes.
I wish I would have got
think
to.
I lean.
I didn't. You don't get to spend much time with the AL guys at all. So like, I didn't get to be around Miggy or any of those dudes.
Well, it's good. They're the other team. You want to beat them.
Yeah.
You don't want to be friends with them.
Did you watch Mickey take BP by chance?
I didn't. They would like as soon as we ended BP, it was kind of like you were going in to do sign stuff or do other stuff. It would the one thing about the 2 days is it's packed. It's a packed 2 days, and there's people everywhere. So when we went out to take BP before the game, I did take BP before the actual All-Star game. So you get there early, same thing. And then there's more stuff to sign. Like day 2, everybody puts their personal stuff out. So like a jersey and a bat and cleats, and guys are getting different stuff signed, right, by the whole team. And so again, there's tables in the middle of the locker room, which is another 500 things to sign, which is super cool, but you're doing that all day. And so like trying to find time to go get loose and get ready to like go take BP, because you get there and things happen really quick. And so I was in the weight room. Dodgers have a sick weight room, by the way. Sick weight room. I was in the weight room getting ready, and Goldschmidt's going through his stuff. And then I got to watch Goldschmidt hit in cage and do his routine, which was really cool. And then basically went right out to BP. And when you're taking BP off a guy who you've never seen before, so like the Braves were the BP guys, right? So you're taking BP off a guy you've never faced, and that is intimidating by itself. And then you have both foul lines are just lined with media. We're talking 20 people deep, both sides, camera crews, photographers.
Like on the field?
Yes, on the field, on the foul, from the foul lines over, So it's MLB tonight is got their whole setup down the left field line. And then baseball tonight. And then camera crews. Everybody's marquee, everybody's regional network has a team or somebody out there, photographers, everything. So it's just like bananas. If you hit a foul ball,
like hitting a tee shot,
you are killing someone.
So Ian, it's basically like hitting a tee shot at a tournament.
Pretty much. And it's just completely lined. And you feel like when you're hitting BP, like you feel like everybody's watching you hit BP, but at the same time you're hitting in a group with Machado, so nobody's watching you take BP because they're just worried about Machado. And like I took a gross BP. I don't think I hit a ball out of the park, but it was just like you're trying to get your swings, but at the same time you're just like, this is nuts.
Like, do you ever think in BP, whether it's like the first day or like with people you don't know, like you said, feel like people watching you, like that whole time, I feel like I've tried to be like so perfect in BP, and I'll walk out and I'm like, what the fuck did I just do in that cage?
Yeah, that's basically what it's like. It's like you feel like everybody's watching your BP, but really nobody's watching your BP, and you're just like every time you like roll over or like hit one off the net, you're just
I'm telling you, man, like literally every time I would go to like in the big leagues last year and even the last few days, like AJ usually just roams the outfield and like talks to guys, chops it up, and I just feel like I'm hitting. And like he'll watch and he'll just like watch me like roll over, hit one oppo like a flare, just take out a notebook and be like, oh, still can't pull the ball in the air, huh? Just like something like that. And I'm
-1.
Yeah. Like, oh, all right. Remember that one? And it's just like nobody gives a fuck about BP, because somebody could be working on hitting everything oppo and then they walk out when they foul 7 balls off and they're like, yeah, I'm locked in.
Yeah, nobody cares. I ended up in group 1.
Whoa.
I don't hit in group 1. This is just, I don't know if this is going to make sense to people, but BP groups generally in the big leagues are like set pretty much every day. You hit in the same group. It's kind of like a routine thing. And in Chicago, I hit in group 2 because I don't take BP a ton, but I do hit in group 2.
Your guys
is I like.
You don't do outfielders in the first group, infielders in the second group?
No, not really, because
Okay.
our infielders generally will do their work early, and then like I like the second BP thrower for us is Andy Green. I like Andy Green's BP, so I hit in group 2, and I like to go get my outfield work in group 1 and shag, and then hit and go in. And so I'm never in group 1. And usually, like when I was coming up, group 1 was the big boys. It was like Riz, KB, Javi, and it was just like laser show home runs. And every time I would hit in group 1, I would try to hit homers, and I would be like, fuck. So I just have gotten used to hitting group 2. So the guys weren't ready to hit the All-Star game. So they were like, hey, guess what? You're in group 1. So I was in group 1 with Crone, Machado. I think it was just the 3 of us, because I think somebody else didn't come out. So it's just the 3 of us. And Machado, all the media was just like trying to talk to Machado. And so like ended up like he would skip around, and like Crone and I would be hitting, and then like he would jump back in, and like you'd be like dodging media people coming out of the cage because they were just trying to talk to Machado. There's a lot going on. That BP wasn't brought to you by Roman, but this part of the episode is brought to you by Roman. What do you got on Roman, Dakota?
They send us another package the other
They
day.
did send us another package
last week.
Yeah, they take good care of us. They send us a lot of packages. And if you go to getroman.com/compound, you'll get $10 off your first order, which is a big deal. Do you know that?
I do
Zack,
not.
do you have
I know
anything
that
to
now.
say about Roman? You're checked out on the
take-
Roman. I need you to be locked in on the Roman.
No, I know. I'm still just looking at all the packages that they keep sending us. They take such great care of us. Every time I come back from a road trip, it's just another package. They're incredible.
When they send a package, do you go around the locker room and you're like, guys, I care about all of you, and I want you to feel confident and prioritize your health and your relationships. And if you're ready to do that for yourself, maybe start with Roman.
Yeah, I mean, verbatim every time. It's usually like Tuesday when we get there before BP. It's like, well, we're shorty. You know, I got to get my weekly thing in.
Roman swipes, clinically proven to help you last longer in bed. No prescription needed. Free 2-day shipping. Safe, effective, and used by millions of men. GetRoman.com/compound. $10 off your first order.
I will say this episode, I would be so intrigued to listen to this, like personally, listening to someone tell like an all-star story.
Yeah, you were blowing Happ's phone up the first
know.
day the All-Star break was over, and I'm like, stop fucking texting him and let him enjoy the one.
No, I just asked. No, I asked.
It
I
was his
like,
only
boy-
off day of the break.
I asked. I said, "Hey, the boy's blowing it out." That's all I asked.
You know, and then you kept going, and then you go, "Sorry, just one more."
What did I say?
I forget what you said, but you asked like 2 or 3, and then you go, "Sorry, one more question. Did you PJ?"
Oh yeah, I just asked if he paid Jed. That's it.
He's got it.
I was going to ask you, what was it like mentally preparing for the game, knowing that you're going to have, it's a little like the Super Bowl, you know, you're going to have all that adrenaline at the start, and then you're not going to play for at least, did you know like when you were going to come in, like how scripted is that? Because obviously I'm sitting there watching for you to come in, wondering when it's going to happen.
They were trying to figure it out because we didn't have any center fielders, which was kind of a crazy thing. We didn't have any true center fielders because we had Mookie ended up starting the game in
Didn't
center.
Soto play
Yeah,
center at one
center.
point?
He's,
in Boston.
yeah, so they were like, Mookie only wants to get one at bat. So it's like, oh, Mookie's only going to take one at bat. There's going to be a lot of innings to cover in center. And so they ended up putting Soto out there in like the 3rd. And then I came in the 5th and took over in center. And they were like, they're like, what have you been playing this year? It's like, well, pretty much all left. One game in center. And they were like, all right, well, think you can play center today? I was like, yeah, sure. I'll go out there. And so I ended up playing center. And they kind of told you like a couple of, they're like, you're going to go in, like Soto's going to go in for an inning or 2. And then you're going to, as soon, I think Acuna's second at bat, they were like, you're going to go into his spot. So that worked out. It was cool to be out there with Schwarb again. That was like really awesome. So it was me and Schwarb center and left, and then Soto and right.